Born in the pines where the axes sing loud. Generations deep, we're a proud, tough crowd. Hands on the Bible, the timber, the steel. Faith in the Lord, the life that we feel. God, guns, and sawdust, it's in our veins. Through the sweat and the toil, through the joy and the pain. We stand on the roots of the trees we felled. Faith in the maker, stories to tell.
Hey, welcome back, y'all. God, Guns, and Sawdust. We're like 5 days away from Christmas, man. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there. We've got some awesome guests today. We got Ace from TimberSync, and we got our good friend Michael Bary's back with us, y'all. So, hey, it's going to be some awesome times. We're going to talk about some stuff going on in the timber business. But before we do, let's go ahead and bow our heads in a word of prayer. Our most dear and gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you at this time, thanking you for this time we have to come together and talk about the resources that you've gave us, Father. We are so thankful for the many blessings that you bestow upon us, Father. Father, we are thankful for Jesus who died on the cross for our sins that we may have hope of eternal life one day. We thank you so much, Father, for keeping us all safe in the woods as we work, taming the giants, Father. We thank you for everything you've done for us and all that you do. Thank you for guiding us in the way we should go. All these things we ask in your Son's name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Well, welcome, guys. Welcome, Ace. Hey, y'all, right here in front of me. That's that chainsaw given away here in 5 days. Huh? $5.92. It was really easy. I mean, I'm giving it away. All you had to do was go to this podcast, like, share, and follow, and tag 10 people in the comments. It's not too late. We're giving it away Christmas Day. But hey, enough about that. And that right there is also signed by everybody at Wood for Warriors. So really awesome soul, man. Wood for Warriors is a nonprofit organization that gives all of our veterans in Hickory, North Carolina, the ones an hour away from them, they all get firewood every year to stay warm. It's the neatest organization, nonprofit. But hey, guys, what do you think? Huh? What about the timber business today? What do you think it's doing out there, Ace? What do you got to say about that?
Well, I'm an eternal optimist, so I think it's going to go well. But I do think I do get concerned when I see all the replacement materials when you go to the home improvement store and everything's made out of glue, sawdust.
that stuff that falls apart and breaks down after time.
Yeah. So I do think sometimes I think that they need, like, you remember how in the 90s they had the dairy producers had Got Milk?
Yep. Got Milk.
I think we need one for wood. I mean, I don't think the slogan would be Got Wood, because I don't think that sounds quite right. But I think there needs to be some kind of slogan and some kind of campaign where this becomes a thing again.
Where we needs the real stuff to make houses with.
Yeah. I
agree.
Authentic.
Definitely. Organic, as they call it today.
Organic.
Everything that's normal is organic.
Exactly.
Pretty much. Everything we grew up with and we thought was right, it's organic now.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, man. The timber industry always goes up and down. I go up, then I go down.
Yeah.
And, man, we've seen that big time after COVID hit. Oh, man, it went crazy, man. Everybody was selling timber. It was a booming. And it could be because of them tariffs, but hey, that's what I thought it was from, because I know when he put tariffs on China the first time, dude, everything blew up once they accepted it. I mean, I can't imagine what's going to happen now. That's why I think it's going to come back too. I've always been Trump and everybody and the whole place up there is really trying to get our industry back, and we've seen it come back. Walnut prices have went up.
Oh yeah.
Hear that? Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
They went up quite a bit on lumber and on the other one. White oaks come back up. Hard maples were something right now.
Yep.
Hard maples jumped up there. So it is on the back. It is coming back. I think it is. And the only way that you can actually make it work now, everything's went up like doubled when COVID came.
Yep.
So the money that we thought we were making big off the timber was really evening out like it was before, because you had to pay so much more for breakdowns, for
Yep.
parts, and everybody didn't have. Well, I got to order that from China, so it might
Right.
be 4 or 5 months because they're not doing anything.
Right.
So then you're like, what are we going to do? I know you probably had the same thing where you couldn't get no parts, and
Oh yeah, we had to change some things like the motor oil we was using in our machines we couldn't get, so we had to change to a different brand.
the
during
brand was
COVID.
more expensive.
Yep,
Of
turned
course.
out to be better oil though.
That's a good thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's kind of good. Yeah, I've noticed that hoses, getting a hose made is like almost
Brutal.
tripled.
It's brutal.
The only way you can make inflation go away is make the money go over the inflation.
Yep.
That's the only way possible. That's going to be, that's a really tough thing to do. I mean,
Very
the economy's got to go boom, boom, boom.
right.
So, but I mean, it's really taken off. And a lot of what I want to talk about really, and you mentioned it too earlier, the landowners.
Yep.
You know, what does a landowner expect from a logger? I'll let you go ahead and go first, Michael. Go for it. What do you think?
I think they want somebody to respect their land, treat it right, make it look right when you get done, not make it look horrible, fix everything you mess up, treat it like it was your own. The way we look at it.
It is.
That's one of the biggest issues because if you ask the state, any state, what should I do? They're going to say you should hire a consulting forester. But I think that whole industry of consulting foresters has failed us. I don't think it's ever really worked. I mean,
No.
there's people that do a fine job of it, but every single one I've ever talked to is retired. Nobody's starting that, nobody goes into consulting forestry. And I don't know. I think that they always kind of, sometimes they do a good thing, but the whole reason they exist is because the state didn't trust the logger. And,
Yep.
they were kind of encouraging the landowner not to by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Almost like you get them on their side.
Yep.
And unfortunately, there was a lot of them loggers out there that were really doing the homeowners wrong.
Yep.
That's one thing about the big company. A lot of people want to sell to a big company. And the guy that you're talking to at your house that wants you to sell your timber, they sweet talk you. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. That guy gets you signed a contract. He leaves. You don't see him
Ever again.
They go hire another contractor who is paid by the foot.
Mm-hmm.
Paid by the foot. So, hey, guess what, boys? I'm going to go in there and get that thing done. We out of here.
Yep.
But I'm going to bring all my cutting machines. I'll bring this. It don't matter what. We got to be out here by Friday.
Yep.
That's the way it works, man.
Mhm.
If they're there to do a job, and you have to with the economy the way it is.
Mhm.
I mean, you got to get it out there. You ain't making no money, especially you got 5 or 6 guys working with you.
Exactly.
You're not making no money. Faster I get it done, faster I get out of here.
Exactly.
So that is what's really good. I know Michael's a low impact logging guy, and now you helped start TimberSync, right?
Yep.
So, and you were a logger.
We were loggers.
Why don't you just
So-
go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background there?
So, yeah, I mean, when we started it, it was a funny time because it was 2019 and I kind of had moved around a lot, finally came back to Kentucky, and we got a farm in Kentucky. And we had a bunch of walnut on that farm that hadn't been logged maybe in over 100 years. And it was always one of those things that the family was kind of scared about. And the guy who ended up doing the logging is a good friend of my cousin. Then the guy who did it is my business partner now. So when he did that, he timbered that walnut. I kind of walked around when the job was done, and we saw all these pieces that hadn't been taken by the mill that were nice pieces. So we milled them out and sold the slabs and everything. And we got into it, and it was fun. And then he was like, "You want to join me on the next jobs?" And so he taught me how to buy and sell timber and identify the trees. And, at that point, it was not quite COVID, and the prices were pretty good. And so we kind of got all these jobs lined up, all these jobs signed. I didn't really know how to do any of the logging at that point, but I figured, we'll figure it out eventually. Then COVID hits. We had so many jobs lined up, and nobody was available to do any work. Everybody at that point started collecting checks.
Yep.
And any logger worth his salt was making amazing money. So I was like, all right, well, better learn how to get these trees down. So good thing is my business partner, he's from out west, and he was a flathead hotshot. So he was working with chainsaws and putting out wildfire, and he knew a thing or two about doing this kind of work. And, he had been in the Forest Service or the Forest Circus, depending on your experience.
Yeah.
He, he had a good time doing that, but he wanted to do his own thing. And so we just started doing it. He's like, all right, I don't know. You don't know how to cut a tree down, but here's a bulldozer. We rented a bulldozer. It was kind of a piece of junk. It didn't have a winch. It just had some chains kind of attached to it. So there, he started cutting the trees down, and I started going out with the bulldozer and just figured it out. We just figured it out. It was the hardest way you can log, to go in there with a slow bulldozer. It's just
it takes time.
It took a long time, but we got it. We just kept doing that, and we started lean. I think that's the one thing you got to do if you start a new logging company, which doesn't happen very often. You got to start lean. So we were just renting a dozer from an Amish guy for like $1,000 a week. Super affordable.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just started doing that. And because it was COVID, you're getting $3 a board foot on walnut average. So we started actually making money. And then eventually, about 6 months later, bought a skidder. It's a timberjack.
Oh yeah. That's a big time upgrade.
It is.
You went from a chain to now you can pull a cable.
It was an upgrade.
Oh, yeah,
and you felt
big time.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a timberjack 360 cable skidder.
Oh yeah.
So even though it was a cable skidder, it was like, well, heck, that's significantly more effective. I mean, you can pull so much more. You can go so much faster.
Yep. I like a cable skidder more than like a grapple anyway.
They're agile.
They are.
You can bop around.
Yep.
Depends on the operator.
That too. It
You
does.
got a good operator.
Yeah.
Grapple skidder works good, but
It
you
does.
gotta have a good operator.
You do.
Those are hard to find.
Yes.
Don't you? Since COVID, they're really hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We need young people. That's another thing.
It's true. You don't see them.
You don't, not in the logging business. You don't.
The only young loggers I've ever seen were Amish or Mennonite, and they have a lot of kids. So,
Yep.
And they do good work. I mean, you can't fault them.
Amish do good work. They do. Yeah.
So every once in a while, you see somebody in their 20s that's not Amish, but it's rare.
That's around Kentucky,
Mhm.
down in there.
Mm-hmm. It's a rare thing. And I don't think people grow up in the generation below me. I don't think there's a lot of people growing up saying, "Oh, I want to be a logger when I grow up."
No,
A
not many
lot of
them.
kids probably don't know what that is.
They don't
They
have any
don't.
idea what it is.
No, because the government and everybody out there always just push us to the end because we're the bad guys. Do you
Yep.
know why? Because they have everything you can possibly imagine. They don't want you to have nothing. That's
right.
the only way I could see it. Because all these people that condone and put down logging and that, they all sit down at a table just like we're at. They all live in a house.
Yep.
They all have trees around. They all need one removed.
Yep.
But they don't want you to do anything. That
It's true.
almost lights my hair on fire, and there ain't much there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never have understood the reasoning behind. That's the only thing I can find out. All
It's
the
true.
people that's against it, they don't even know.
No clue.
No.
No, it's a gut reaction, and you can usually reason them out of it if they have a brain. You can get them. You can get them to kind of understand. I'm not cutting down every single tree in the woods.
Right. We're not.
Not only would it not make economic sense, but we would never do it anyway.
Well, that's the other thing that makes me mad. Well, you guys shouldn't be clear cutting. That's what they say. You can't clear cut. They own factories that they had to take the woods out to put it in there.
Yep.
Well, oh, that's right. You don't want logging around your house, but where you put your great big factory, it's okay.
Or your Amazon warehouse.
Roads.
Amazon warehouse. There you go.
Yep.
It happens all the time.
They put new roads in, got to clear out the forest.
Yep.
Mhm.
69. And
Yep.
dude, that paid out a lot of people for what, 5, 6, 7 years?
Mm-hmm.
That was a really big project in Indiana, 69 highway.
Yeah.
There was a lot of timber that came off that highway too, that helped pay for the highway. Did
Mhm.
you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, TimberSync puts the logger and the homeowner together.
Yeah. So that was a thing that we discovered, is that if you're starting a logging business and you're trying to run it lean, the only thing that matters is, are you finding good timber?
Yeah.
You can be kind of not a very good logger, but if you get great timber, that's the business.
Yep.
And we eventually got to where we were decent at logging, and it was fun. I miss it, but the whole thing was, are we finding timber? And if we're not good at that, then we can't do it. So we built that system. I built the system for us.
Yep.
It's like, how do we find more of it? So we built the system. It's analyzing maps. It's figuring out comparisons between what it was like this year, what it was like last year, what it was like the year. It's doing all kinds of analysis. And then it's getting the latest ownership data, and it's reaching out to anybody that's relevant in a large batch.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Close to you.
Yep, close to us. You pick the county you want, and we'll find it.
That's amazing.
And it's like, the thing is, it used to be word of mouth. I mean, it still is, right? But it's different than it used to be when, like, our grandparents were alive and everybody knew everybody and people held on to their land for a long time. But now it's just like lands it's getting parcelized, smaller and smaller. It's getting sold. It's getting bought. It's getting moved around. And it's kind of hard to figure out who owns what.
Yep.
So that word of mouth works, but you might need to supplement it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for the person starting out. It's good for the guy that, he's got some jobs. He's looking for some more. And that's what TimberSync's good for, to get more people in there. That's what I like about it.
Absolutely.
We got to have younger people. And you're thinking, well, how in the world do you come into this? Right, Michael? How in the world do you come into this? How much money you got to have to be a logger, TKP? What do you think, Michael? How much money you got to have?
A lot.
So I took a trip to Morgan Monroe with a good friend of mine, Clint Sturgeon. And that's who I work with a lot. And we went over to watch some stuff done. They're logging over there. It's the foresters are logging the land. Yep. Yeah. The state is logging their own land. Some loggers are mad about it. They don't think it's right. They don't think it's good because the government's logging their own land. Foresters are logging their land. But I went over and I checked it out. Wow. And they said themselves, I don't even know how anybody could start their business and buy brand new equipment. Dude.
Possible.
Oh, wow. You're looking at $3 to $4 million to start a logging operation. I'm talking mechanical, like they do now, like they want you to, then they promote. And oh, wow, it just makes me scratch my head. I ain't doing it. I'll just get paid to cut timber. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just crazy. I wouldn't, if you can do that, that's great. But what I would say to the young person starting out, I would say to start with a logger like Michael, go help him out a little bit. Go make sure you get your feel about something before you even jump into it. But what I like about low impact logging, starting out, a lot of guys split firewood. They love delivering firewood. Man, I want to do more than this. I want to go logging. Number one, they've already got probably a 100-horse tractor because a lot of times it's the farmer anyway that wants to go out and do a little bit more, including logging their own property because there ain't nobody bringing them $3 million machines on my property. And that's serious. A lot of farmers say, oh, no, you're not doing that. So why not put a Typhoon winch on the back of it? You have a grapple bucket on the front of your tractor. Now you're logging and you're spending $20,000 instead of $2 million. You can do it. It can happen. You have to get in with the veneer buyers. You have to go talk to your local sawmills. You have to hit, and that comes by trusting the veneer buyer. The veneer buyer trusts you that you're not lying. The log buyers are the same way. You can't try to okey doke them by covering up metal in a tree or something like that because they're going to take your word for it too. If you say don't have metal in it, don't have metal in it. They don't have no metal detector with them. You know what I mean? Everything you do, you have to be very honest with the landowner. I mean, you promise a lot of the times on share jobs, if I'm not mistaken, you're 50-50, but I can guarantee you it'll bring this much. And if it goes over that, we'll go over that, but I can guarantee you this much. That's a really good deal too. A lot of the times I'm like, I got to see every one. You should be able to see every tally.
Right.
Show them. If that don't happen, don't sell your timber, period. Because if they're not showing you where it's coming from, somebody's holding something. But if you've worked with them before, it's totally different if you already know who they are. But there's so many loggers out there that, they don't.
Yeah.
So
it's hard because there's a lot of things working against you as a logger. And if you go to a job and you cut mixed hardwood and you split it 50-50, like 50-50 across the board, pretty hard to make money.
It is. You have to get it out now.
Yeah.
You can't waste no time. I mean, what do you think, Michael? You do a lot of.
Yeah, I agree with him. It's kind of hard, but then we're kind of blessed in the area we're in. We got a lot of good white oak and walnut, and in them cases, we sell veneer. We give the landowner 60, and then we give them 50 on all the saw logs and all that stuff. And
yeah, you can make it work with good timber.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the big thing about landowners and loggers together is the trust. I mean, I go out and be like, you got some pretty good timber. You interested in having it logged? I mean, they don't know me. I don't know them. So there you're back to square one trying to gain some trust.
It's true.
Is a big thing in the logging business.
It's true. The mills and the sawmills and the loggers that I've talked to have gotten annoyed at state governments telling everybody to talk to a consulting forester. One of the big problems with that is there's not enough consulting foresters out there.
Not anymore.
There's very few.
I know some really good ones. I know some really nice guys.
Yep.
I mean, but it is harder on the landowner, man. You're going to pay that guy to walk your woods and mark it all. He's going to call some people that he knows, say, hey, man, you come bid on this. Well, you done paid him anywhere from 7 to 10% of your money.
Yep.
It's set there for not 80 years to grow. Why would you give him even a portion? That's just my opinion. You know what I mean?
10%.
But 10%'s a lot of daggone money. You talk 20, $200,000 timber, man.
I know.
40,000.
That's right, dude.
I mean, and there may be cases. I mean, there are cases where it does make sense, but there's just if everybody who wanted to cut their timber had to rely on a consulting forester, there would be a backlog like you can't imagine.
The consulting forester needs to stay with these state trees. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just the way I see it sometimes.
Yeah.
I always felt like with a consulting forester too, you're kind of losing control because once they get them bids in, this company's number one, it goes to that company. Well, you didn't pick them.
No.
You don't pick the way they log. You don't
actually even know what happened with the bid.
Yeah.
You don't. No.
And most likely what happened was, well, I already know Jim Bob, and so Jim Bob's going to get this bid no matter what the numbers are.
Now we're back to what we were talking about before, where instead of the little guy like you and me and Clint and you, you know what I'm saying? With us, we're going to come make a deal with you, and you're going to see us every day. With them big dudes, you don't know a consultant forester. He's going to come make the deal with you. He's going to tell you what he can get you. But like he said, he's going to pick whoever he wants to. Now, are you going to like them? Or are they going to mess up your roads? Or are they going to not put stuff back? I can guarantee you right now, if Clint Sturgeon or Michael Bary pulls on your place and goes to cut your trees, when you leave, it'll be, the trees will be gone. The brush will be pushed back out of your roads. You'll be able to drive anywhere you want to. Any hill will have a water bar on it, so don't wash out. Wayne over there at, BMP's, we both took the classes, so we know what our state wants. Wayne puts it out there for you to see. Really awesome guy. The water control that we have to go through is crazy. I mean, we have to make bridges across creeks now. We've got to do all sorts of things different. But what I can guarantee you is if Michael Bary pulls up in your driveway, gives you a bid, tells you how it's going to do, it's going to be that way when it's done. Same way with Clint Sturgeon. To where the consultant forest can tell you what he can get you. You know what I mean? Oh, well, these guys will pay cash right now for 20, 30,000, a little bit less. Boom. Let's go with them. I need the money. Well, hey, when it's done, it looks like the bomb just went off in your backyard and you're upset and mad because you got ruts going through the side yard. They done went through my septic. They ruined my whole road. They worked when it was raining.
Yep.
Because they're paid by the foot and it's got to be out right now.
Yep.
That's the way it works. I mean, you have options to go, but what's it going to look like when you're done? That's the thing.
What's going to be left, too?
What's going to be left?
They ain't going to take the time to pull them hard trees around the lines, the edges, yards, barns. If you're like, hey, Mike, we want this tree cut off the barn, we're like, yeah, we can do that.
We do the same thing.
Get a few logs out of that.
Sure.
They're like, oh, cool, awesome. We want that tree off our barn.
Nice.
Now, you said something about word of mouth. I can say Michael Bary too. And dude, my dad's never advertised. I don't think Clint's ever advertised. 2 and 3 million feet of timber stand. You know what I mean? It's like we were talking about. It's what you do and how you do it, and how you know. Your honesty is in logging, man. You take one person real good, the whole community's gonna know about you, bud.
How many negative complaints do them guys got?
Right.
Zero. It's about like us. That's a
Zero.
big thing right there.
It is.
Somebody be like, yeah, they logged our property. Couldn't say better things. Looks good.
Yeah, most landowners, if you treat them right, they're going to be chill. They're going to be easy to work with.
Oh, yeah.
You know, every once in a while, you can tell I don't need to work with this landowner. And
that's happened.
That's how you avoid the problem. You just don't do the job.
Yep. Hey, man, I appreciate you, but no thanks. Yep. And you know, when you talk to him 10 minutes, you know what kind of person they're going to be.
Yep.
But that's the same way they can look at the same thing as a logger, too. Man, I took one look at him. I didn't trust him for nothing. And that happens anywhere. And that's the bad part about a logger, man. We are the lowest ones on the totem pole and the lowest ones paid out of the whole deal. We're the ones that go fetch it. We're the ones that pull it out. We're the ones with the most dangerous job on land where we're at. We are.
It is so dangerous.
But we get the lowest part of the dollar. I mean, if the veneer buyer buys it from us for $15 a foot on veneer, you might as well figure they're getting 50.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And then they're selling it sliced. What in the world are they getting?
Yep.
That's another thing people don't understand. It may change hands 7 times after it leave ours.
You know, it's funny. You're right. Because there was a time when we were logging. We had in Bardstown, Kentucky, we had a big white oak log. We put an air tag in it because it was on the road, on the side of the road. And we didn't want it to get stolen overnight. And then a couple days later, we loaded it onto a truck. Off it went. Forgot to take the air tag out. Because the way we put it in there was we took the tip.
We got to do this.
Do it. We put the tip of the chainsaw into the log, and it just pops right in there. And then you take a little bit of sawdust and a little bit of wood, and you chunk it in. So you can't even tell anything there. So then kind of remembered, oh, wait, isn't there an air tag still in that log? So we checked on it, and it was in Chillicothe, Ohio, a few days later. A few days later, it was in Charleston, South Carolina. A few days later, it was disappeared off the map. 2 months later, Shanghai.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It was in a fumigation yard for them couple months. You didn't see it.
Right.
They were letting the bugs and stuff get out of it sitting before they can ship to another country.
Yeah, we have that, don't they? But then when they come here, they don't have to do anything, do they, Michael? That's how we get what we get to take out all of our trees.
That's right. That's that.
Comes from a container.
Yeah.
Come from a container. You have to spend almost $7,000 to $8,000 a container to bomb them before you even send them out of there. $7,000 to $8,000 is what it costs us. But if it comes from another country, it don't cost nothing. But they bring their bugs over here, and as soon as they open up that container, dude, they're gone.
Killed every ash tree in the country.
Killed every ash tree in the country, and our oak is dying too.
Yeah.
Michael, this episode is sponsored by TimberSync. Timber is getting harder to find, let's face it. And I tell you what, I've done a lot myself. I watched my dad do it and everybody going around trying to find timber. Sometimes it can be really difficult, man, the old school way. But now they got a new school way, and that's TimberSync, man. These guys are awesome professionals that are there for the logger and the sawmill guys. They're trying to hook them up with the landowners near you, the guys with the big timber, you know, that pays really good, making your job a whole lot easier. This software they've got shows where the good timber is. And who owns it?
It's put me in contact with a whole lot more people. They have a good game plan, a good mission, and they work hard to help their suppliers and business partners succeed.
You just can't beat this, guys. This is a new way of spreading the word about the timber in your area. So make sure you guys go check out TimberSync, man. More timber, less hassle. That is a big boom, baby. You've seen it too. I know you have.
Yep, red oak.
Red oak.
Yeah.
I'm talking like maybe 40, 50, 60-year-old oak are just dying for no reason at all.
About every job we get on, we see some dead red oak.
Yeah.
That's going to be sad if we lose our red oak because we've already lost our ash.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
The red oak's a little more important. That's flooring market there. So
Sure.
that's where a lot of the flooring comes from is red oak.
Yeah.
You got to have whiskey barrels for white oak too. The stave market, have you seen it? Has it come up any at all?
Very little.
What's going on with that? Have you ever noticed it just like fell off? Well, the one
Yeah.
in Louisville closed down, right?
Yeah,
They-
I know kind of what's going on there is independent staves, pretty big. They bought out Brown and Foreman, 2 or 3 locations. So when they bought them, they had to take their inventory. So they had to get through all that inventory. So their inventory they were making off of their mills was piling up.
Mm.
So now they did get through that inventory last I knew. So now they're starting to pump out of their own mills, but they got a bunch stockpiled. But it is coming up a little bit. It will probably come up more, would be my guess, because they just had to get through that inventory they bought.
So did they end up buying the one in Louisville?
Mm-hmm.
They
I
did.
think so.
So is that Graff Brothers? Is that who that is?
No,
No.
it's different.
Different.
Yeah, when we were logging, we had a guy from Independent Stave buy our stave logs, and then one day he said, "Oh, I'm not going to be buying any more logs for the next 18 to 24 months."
There it was.
And then he called us 2 weeks later. "Oh, guess what? I'm fired."
Come on.
Guess what? Everybody else is fired too.
Yep.
So it was like,
They
oh,
started over again.
yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think you're probably right. It's probably going to, at some point,
Come back up.
yeah.
Come back.
But they don't treat anybody particularly well. They just kind of do what they need to do.
They get her done. Yeah. That's the way it works. Whenever
Mhm.
people, that's another kind of crazy thing when you see people buying out other people. That's kind of crazy. And it changes everything around, but that's just
Mhm.
part of business, I guess.
It is.
I mean, yeah, the timber market always goes up and down. You just never know what's going to happen around the corner. It's hard to plan for anything or anything, you know?
Yeah.
Totally crazy.
But all the advances we've had in science and material science, we still haven't found anything that really does quite what wood does.
Wood's good for everything.
Yeah.
God put it here for a natural resource is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, man, why do you cut your trees all the way on the ground for like that? I'm supposed to get them all. When you go hunting, when you shoot a deer, you leave half over there, you take it all with you. It's the same thing, man.
100%.
Yeah, a lot of old timers, if you got high stumps, they'd be like, does your back hurt?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time, man.
Why are you cutting them so high? Does your back hurt?
You don't want to, yeah. My dad used to say that too. We had a guy did the same thing. I'm looking over at him. He's cutting this poplar is 3 foot through. He's got this thing this tall off the ground. I'm like, whoa, that thing's hollow. When it goes over, didn't have a hole in it. I said, hey, man, you like working with us? Dude, it's a blast. I said, you won't be working with us very much longer if you don't get him about that far off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know what his problem was?
What?
He didn't know how to notch him in the bottom. You know, the poplar swell.
Mm.
So a lot of timber cutters, if you notice, they cut high sometimes. When you get down in them spurs, they don't know how to start it. I can remember when I first started cutting trees, that was one of my hardest things, man. When I was 26, where am I going to put my notch at in this thing? You just got to go at it. And once you figure that thing out, get that sweet spot, it's on.
Sometimes if you're just starting out, sometimes just cut your spurs off.
You can do that first.
Takes a little more time, but if you're learning, that's a
Good
get
way
your
to do
notch
it.
in, and you get them out of the way.
That's a good idea. Definitely. I guess I didn't want to spend that much time. I've seen a lot of guys do it that way on the internet, though.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go through there and clean everything up on the side of it and then go to cutting on it.
I still do mine that on high quality one because you know what? When that tree hits the ground, what are you gonna do?
Got to
Cut them
trim them off
spurs off.
anyway.
Yep.
Sometimes I trim mine when it's standing.
Yep.
When it hits the ground, she's good to go.
Like leave your triggers in the back, or do you trim it before you even start cutting?
Trim it before I start cutting on high quality.
Michael Bary, I can tell you right now, I've actually never done that. I might have to do that next time. Normally, if I'm going to do it on high quality, I do the spur cut and leave them in there anyway, but it'd be the same thing.
If you cut your spurs off too, when you're doing your cutting, you can see where you can judge your notch a lot better too, because you can.
That's true.
Yeah, in Europe, that's how they do every tree. All the good trees.
Yep.
Cut all the spurs
They
off.
cut all the spurs off, and then they start.
That's why they look so crazy when they fall down, because you're like, what in the world did he do to that thing now? Believe it or not, I'm not a wedge guy. I've used wedges, but I've always wondered why on them big pines where they've always trimmed off all that bark. I never understood why in the world is that. it'll bounce the wedge out.
Mhm.
I didn't have no clue. And it's a little bit different from West Coast and
The West
East Coast.
Coast, yeah, the West Coast loggers, it's a whole different thing.
It is.
And like my business partner Eddie, he's from Montana, so when he did it, he was kind of like your fella from California the other day.
Mhm.
He wore the short pants, the suspenders, boots with corks. I mean, it was
Yep.
the whole different energy.
Dude, I'm
But-
telling you what, man. That Thomas Steinwald, dude, he's the Paul Bunyan, man. I've worked with a lot of men in the woods, and the guy I had on my podcast here last week or a couple weeks ago. Dude, I'm telling you what, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody like him. Like I said, whenever I met him, he had them really short pants on.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what in the world? Had suspenders on.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm Bailey shirt, And I'm thinking, and he's got a shell necklace.
Yeah,
Boy,
saw that.
Dude, I'm telling you what, man. I was thinking, what in the world? Dude, he cut 70 trees at 750 board feet in one day before 4 o'clock.
That's impressive.
I'm telling you, I just couldn't believe it. Dude, these 3 skitters,
Yep.
540 G3s. I've never seen anything like it. It was the first day I started, and he put me on the steepest part of the hill as we start. He goes, hey, you cut 30 trees off this hill. You got a job. I cut 32. The hottest day of the year. When he come up over the hill, I was getting ready to top his big red oak. He looked over at me and goes, hey, buddy, you ready to call it a day? I was like, yeah, man, I'll see you out front. He rides off. I go to crawl over it to top it,
Mhm.
and my whole legs, like my calves and my quads went, dude, I'm over screaming at the top of my lungs, laying on my back, cramping up like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What he does, I mean, and that night he went to the gym with his girlfriend or his wife after he left. His wife, dude, he was already gone, went to the gym.
Nice.
He works all day, goes to the gym for 2 hours, then comes home. I've
Some
never
discipline.
met anybody like him, man. I'm total beast.
It's awesome.
Like organic logger. I don't even
Yeah.
know what to say.
It's awesome.
Kind of backtracking a little bit, that cutting the root spurs off too. Sometimes them spurs you get in a thick bark tree, they'll kind of bounce your wedge too. You cut them off and you're
Yep.
wood on wood too. You got a little more if you use wedges.
I never thought about that. You're right. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot of different ways to cut trees, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of these days I'll write them all down.
Have you ever used a cutter machine?
I have never personally ran one.
Me neither.
I've seen a lot of them run. I call them the devil. About 4 or 5 years ago, man, everybody's like, hey, man, you want to run one of these? No, I'm not running the devil. I said, why do you call it the devil? It's like, man, that thing goes in and just tears everything up. It's
Mhm.
got to run over 5 trees to get to one to cut it down. And everybody's like, oh, no, not if you know how to run one. I don't know how to run one. I don't want to know how to run one. I could cut one down over here. I can cut one down over here. And I can follow them the way I want to without a daggone machine. I can have a 240 jack. I can pull them through every little
Mhm.
thing that you're running over to get there. I
Right.
know that for a fact. You say you're good or whatnot, but
Right.
you know what I mean. There's a lot of guys that can pick them up, swing them all the way over, and pile them up in one little spot and make it look good. I mean, I've seen guys run them. I don't like them.
That's a dying breed.
It is a
sitting there.
dying breed,
Mhm.
and I don't even think Green Bean's going to do it. I don't think. I really don't want him to. Be honest with you.
I don't
By the
blame you.
time it comes up, things are going to change so much. I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know. It's
That's
a
another
dangerous
thing.
opportunity. It's
It
a
is.
dangerous occupation.
That's another thing that's working against the loggers, at least in Kentucky. To get workers' compensation insurance, it's 105% the wages. So in other words, you got to pay the guy $10 an hour. You got to pay the insurance company $11 an hour at the same time. That doubles your wages. So you can't get workers' comp. So you got to avoid that. You got to break the law. You got to say it's a contractor, but even then they can still sue you.
Like a 1099
Yep.
contractor.
They can still sue you.
They
So,
could.
it's
See,
like-
I'm a subcontractor to Clint, and I
Yeah.
have my own tree insurance. I am responsible for me.
Mm-hmm.
Could I sue him?
Theoretically, good lawyer, you could.
Probably so.
I got a
But-
question for
yeah.
you. Do you got a certification from the state saying you're a certified contractor?
So I have a tax waiver, is what they call it. Okay. You have to have your tax waiver, or you have to have workman's comp. The tax waiver is also good for the state also. You have to renew that every year. On top of your insurance, you have to have both, or you cannot step foot on the state ground and work. And you also have to wear full PPE. If anybody comes in and checks on you, you have to. Now, I don't like PPE. I've always said that, but I'm here to tell you right now, if I go to your house to play, I got to play by your rules. So if I go to their house to play, I got to play by their rules. I'm not a disrespectful person. I just believe in my own freedom.
Yep.
So, Oregon had me try a new chain. Hey, man, come here, try this new chain, on this saw. I had to put on the chaps and everything. Hey, man, sure. I could have told him, no, I don't want to. But if I'm going to play by your rules, you know what I mean? I'm going to play by your rules. I'm not going to be stick in the mud or anything.
Yeah.
And the guy asked him, hey, man, do you own this fence or do you own the one back there? Oh, I owned all the way to the back. Okay, cool. Have a good day. We cut everything there. The last tree we cut in the back, here comes the neighbor. Hey, what are you doing cutting my trees? Oh, well, this ain't your trees. Yeah, they are. They're my trees. His line's up there. You cut 15 trees over there on the other guy. The forester comes in to look at what you did. The trees are gone. They're not even there. The stumps are there, man. So guess what? What you're going to owe is in that forester's hand right there. And 95% of the time, it's 3 times the value of the tree.
Yep.
You got paid 20 grand for the timber that you cut off the guy that you got it from. They cost you $30,000 in fines.
Yep.
And you got to pay the other landowner. Now what do you got? You got $50,000. You're a man of your word. You got to pay the 20 to him and the 30 to him. If not, what are them guys going to do about you at the coffee shop?
Yep.
That happens more than often. Always do your research. Look for yourself. I hate to say it, it's 2025. Don't take the word for it. Always search every property line. You've got your phone now where you can look everything up, and you're going to know back then we couldn't do anything.
Go to your local courthouse, because the funny thing is, something like that happened to us, but we cut the whole wrong property.
Oh no. Are you
The whole
serious,
property,
Michael?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This was back probably 2004, 2005. People inherited this ground, wanted the timber cut. We ended up with it, bought the timber, cut it. Almost a year later, we got a letter from an attorney from Florida saying we cut this guy's timber. We cut the property next to the property that was inherited.
Oh, man.
We had to pay back double what we got. It was a whole job, not just a strip, a whole like 20, 25 acres of timber cut. It was a pretty bad deal.
Man.
But we learned from there, they told us that courthouse, and they'll tell you who owns it. Yeah.
And wrongful cutting insurance.
Yeah.
You can get
See,
insurance.
they didn't used to have that.
Yeah.
And there's locals, you got to really watch it. I got mine through Granite Insurance Company, and they make sure you have what you need. Granite Insurance Company, man, they're on it. That's who I went through. And the people I was going through before said I was covered under logging terms and cutting a tree on somebody else. And my buddy looked into it, and he said, no, you were covered for cutting trees around houses, but you weren't covered for that. So here's the thing. What they do is, well, hey, it's only $5,000 or $6,000. That's okay. Here you go. You get a claim for 150 grand. Right. Hey, you know what, buddy? You weren't covered for that.
Right.
That's the way it works, and they're done.
100%.
So you got to really watch what you do there too. Insurance is very, very important. And again, I don't think anybody should be privileged enough not to pay what everybody else pays. But hey, it is what it is. I mean,
do your research.
Do your research. You have to. That's what matters. Yeah. So TimberSync is about putting the landowner and the logger together.
Yep. And I think it's, I think for a logger who's just trying to add to it, just add more jobs. I mean, even loggers that have a ton of jobs lined up. I remember when we had a ton of jobs lined up, and I was like, I don't really want to do any of those jobs.
Right? Not right now.
These ones are far away. These ones don't have the best timber. I need to look at some more. And so we would always be looking at them.
Yep.
And there are loggers that we work with that have 20 jobs lined up. And they're like, yeah, just let's do this again. Get some more on the docket. And eventually some of the ones they don't really want to do will expire and they'll just never get around to them.
Right.
That's okay.
So TimberSync is putting the landowner with the logger.
Mhm.
And hey, if you're starting out, they're really awesome. You got to go check them out. And I mean, they can help build your business. They can get you started. Michael Bary here, he's part of the organization down in southern Indiana.
Yeah, he
And
uses it.
Helps you out pretty much, doesn't it, buddy?
Yep. If you're looking for more jobs and more, like he was saying, if you want better jobs, because everybody's always looking certain times of the year, like now we're in the winter. The way we operate, we don't push or rut or the ground's solid, we work. If it's not, we don't. So we ain't working as much. So this time of year, we're looking for better timber because we know we ain't going to move the quantity we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
Summertime, we do lower end jobs most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Wintertime, we go for the higher end stuff. And if you're looking for more higher end stuff or having problems finding timber, that's a good company to get a hold of. And
He was one of the first customers, Michael.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
He called us when we still owned a skidder and we were still running around looking at timber. And we were like, some other logger need to try this system out. So he was one of the first to try it.
That's awesome, Michael. Yeah. That's something. How many states is this offered in?
We're in about 40 states right now.
40 states.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There's timber in almost every state. We even got a little in Nevada recently.
Nevada?
I didn't think there was a tree in Nevada.
Me neither. Thought it was all skyscrapers and
and desert
casinos. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is. Yeah, the ones out west, it's a whole different scene out there. A lot of the people that we work with out west are, they're doing fuels reduction. They're preventing fires. They're doing stuff to get the trees away from someone's house.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting paid to cut the trees down, but they're not necessarily selling the timber. Some of them are. But it's a kind of a mixed bag. Whereas over here in this part of the country, it's all just people selling timber.
Yeah, I'm interested to go out west here in the next couple of years. I know I want to go out there to the show up in Oregon.
Yeah.
Coming up. I want to go check it out. I've been wanting to go out west anyway and meet some of the guys out there that I know.
Yep.
Out west, it's a totally different ball game, but a lot of, I noticed that Buck and Billy Ray.
Yeah.
He's here in the States cutting hardwood, and he's always been up. Oh, man. He's had some cool videos. If y'all ain't checking out Buck and Billy Ray, go check him out on YouTube, man. He's a really good dude, and he's a very knowledgeable guy. I got to talk to him at the Paul Bunyan show quite a bit, and he's down here in the States cutting hardwoods, and he's putting Humboldts in them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's looking good. He's really getting her done, man. He's cut some white oak, and that's
awesome.
pretty neat. But
it's awesome.
Yeah.
What about that other guy you follow, Tree Killer? Are you going to see him?
I'm hoping to see him, man.
I like watching him.
Tree Killer. He's been out there. Old Gadberry, Michael Gadberry,
Yep.
man. And we've known each other probably 10 years. He used to be in all the logging groups and stuff, and. Man,
somebody commented on one of our posts the other day, said we should try to get him on the show.
Oh, man, that'd be cool. Old Michael Gadberry. He's something else. I got a lot of respect for that man. We give each other a hard time all the time. He's got a steel, and I got a Husqvarna. Michael Berry went out and bought steel, and I got a Husqvarna. And Michael. I say, hey, Michael, what's that in the back of your truck? Looks like a nail. And he goes, bought me a steel. I was like, oh, man. He likes them. Hey.
We still got some Huskies.
Do you? He still got the backup saws, right, in case they fail.
We got a 592.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
You got a 500i?
No, we didn't like them.
Why not?
Fuel consumption
It
and
does-
the
it eats it.
handlebars kind of flimsy for us.
It does eat
We're
the
pretty
fuel.
big guys, and we just felt like we could rip them apart. So
I love it, Michael. That's a good one. This
crazy
thing's like a toy.
We, believe it or not, we use a lot of 462s and 400s. What we like.
No kidding.
Kind of light,
Mhm.
make good power to weight ratio. And
Yeah, they're nice. No
The
question.
462, everybody keeps talking about that. That's a size smaller than the 500i. That's what I can't understand.
About 70 or 72. They're better on fuel. Our timber cutter, he normally cuts like 40 trees a day, and the less times he's got a fuel, he kind of likes it because he normally keeps his pig on the skidder. So if the skidder's gone, he's waiting on him. But 462, you can cut like 7 or 8 trees. 500, probably 4 or 5. I'm gonna say.
I'm going to say my 592. I can get 5.5 trees, average of 450, 500 foot. Nothing humongous. I switched to Amsoil, the new Amsoil with the 3 ounces to the 2.5 gallon.
Yeah.
I wish I would have brought one with me and showed you. Gained 1.5 trees on a tank of gas. I was blown away. I was like, for real? It's like, no. Every tank afterwards. I don't know why.
That's awesome.
I gained 1.5 trees. Could be I had it more sharp. I don't know.
That's awesome.
But I seem like I'm getting more gas mileage out of it.
You
So-
use pump gas.
I used non-ethanol rec fuel.
Yep.
And I put that in there. My dad, 390s. Dude, I ain't going nowhere to get gas. You crazy? Go to Speedway and get gas. Well, put the 93 in there. No way, burn your soul up. Just put the bigger gas in there. You know where he goes to get his gas mix at? Walmart. He trades his soul in every year.
Yeah. Whatever works.
Hey, he's always done it, man.
Mhm.
Ever since I was young. Just go to Walmart and get it, man. What do you want to spend a high dollar stuff for?
I don't know. We get AV and we mix 40 to 1.
D&D.
Husky. Well, we go to D&D some, but we ran 40 to 1 for a long time with AV fuel, and we've never blowed a saw up.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good.
What I'd say about it, though, is that when I look at the way things are going, it does seem like going into farming is not the kind of thing you can do at a smaller scale. It does seem like in logging, having done it myself, it is possible, although not easy, but it is possible to go into it small scale.
Mhm.
You can start lean
Okay.
and you can make decent money. You know, if you do it right, if you find the timber.
If you're a farmer, man, you got to either have some really a lot of money gave to you,
Mm-hmm.
or you got to have a farm gave to you, man, to even start, really. I mean, that's getting started doing a farm. Oh, man, I couldn't
It's
even
insane.
imagine.
If
Yeah.
there's a will, there's a way.
There's a
Yeah.
will, there's a way. I can't say it can't be done, but, man, it'd be rough.
And
It
a lot
would.
of people down in our area, a lot of the farmers ended up becoming loggers because they'd farm during the good and then
Yep.
they'd log in the winter.
Yep.
A lot of them are big logging companies now,
Mhm.
but they started out as farmers.
My good friend Cherry, Josh Cherry, he started out as a farmer, cut firewood. And now he owns a great big old cat dozer with one of them high tracks.
hmm
Oh man, winch on the back. He owns his own stuff. Doing really good.
Man,
So
that's
I mean,
awesome.
you can do whatever you put your mind to, and
Mhm.
there ain't no quit in him. If you're gonna get in a logging business, you better be a mechanic.
Yep.
Know everything about business and know how to cut trees.
Or if you can find a good hire. Because
you got to find. That's hard to find, but if you can find one, man, it helps you out big time.
that changed the game for us. We found one guy. He was 23. He was a welder, a diesel mechanic, and he learned everything we asked him to do instantly. He learned how to. He didn't really know how to log. He learned that in a month, and he was better than us.
Josh Cherry, same way.
Yeah.
I showed him how to cut trees one time. He got the hang of it. He could take the blade of the skidder and grass and get that far from the ground and push stuff out of the field. Never seen nothing like it, man.
Mm.
I mean, normally it'd take guys forever.
Mhm.
You know, they have dips like this
Yep.
through your field trying to get out there. Like it, I've never seen nothing like it. There's some guys that's got the talent for it.
They just have.
And I say this a lot in my videos. Everyone here's got a different talent. Everybody does.
Yep.
God gave us a different talent to do. We have to put that into motion. You know what I mean?
It's true.
It's really neat.
It is cool. And he was 23. He didn't drink. He doesn't drink. He doesn't chase women. He comes on time. He shows up, and he just does. He wants to do it. He's motivated. He finds
Gee,
it.
that's
He
amazing.
finds it cool to show off how good he is.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Hey.
And he actually followed us to TimberSync. So he went from a chainsaw to a laptop, and then we had to train him how to use a laptop.
That's
I mean, he's
great.
just so good that you just can't let him go.
Right. No way. That's a good employee.
So shout out to Liam.
Right
because
on.
he
Liam,
is-
sounds like you're doing good, man. That
Yeah.
is a big boom, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That's awesome.
He's awesome. He's definitely going to be watching this. So.
Right on. Well, guys, we're running out of time here. I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Same with Michael, you know what I mean?
Merry
Yep,
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Check out TimberSync.
Got to go check out TimberSync, man. I got the man here, right here, one of the owners, and it's really good to have you on the show. And Michael, like always, dude, good friend. Good to have you on here with us, too. It's really good to do it again.
Heck yeah.
So, Michael, this won't be his last appearance either. He'll be back again. So, God bless you both. Be safe
bless
out
you.
there and whatever you do, you know, out there cutting trees and everything. And, hey, that is a big Indiana boom, baby.
Gun, guns, and sawdust echoes loud, carving out truth where the strong stand proud. We're done for now, but we'll be back again. Tune in next time where the stories never end.
God, Guns, and Sawdust is a production by TKP Media, LLC.